Today is Scraplift Crafternoon, and today we are scraplifting Cassandra, who is Crazy Craft Obsession on Instagram. And I have a whole list of people playing along, as well as Cassandra's information, and I believe there's a link to even this video, because she has a video on this. So I hope you will check that out. I am showing you some of the products that I'm going to use today, and I think everything I am using today is from Blvd. It is the Monsters and Friends collection, as well as some from Sweet and Spooky. So I have quite a bit of both of these. I don't really know when they came out, how long I've had them, any of those things. I don't do a whole lot of Halloween layouts, but so I've had the same stuff for a long time, and I thought I would break it out and get some of these. And you saw the photos that I'm going to be using this year. Two of my grandkids were dressed up like Boo and Sully from Monsters, Inc., and that is a favorite movie at their house. So they have some super cute little costumes. This layout is going to be for Addie, and she's Boo. And so I'm going to be you'll see in a moment when I start with my inking and mixed media, that I'm going to make this collection work for her costume. So the first thing I'm doing is I chose all of those papers for my little squares, and my background is from the Blvd, and it's just a white with kind of gray polka dot. So I'm using lots of things that will just go right over top of it. This one had a bunch of words. It's got a white background. So I'm showing you that I made a little stopper for my, just out of cardstock for my paper trimmer there, so that all of my squares are perfect. I don't have to worry about it. If I don't use a punch, that's a great way to get them all exactly the same, because it's hard to measure and get them exactly, at the same place. So now I'm just kind of going through and, based on color and the design, I don't want, too much overlap of any of the colors or whatever. And I'm trying to decide how I want the layout to go. I just cut one of each. I just wanted to see how far it would go. I knew I would need more, but I did one of each and kind of saw that it was going to get me about half, so I figured I would be able to make it with just one more. So I did those off screen because, you know how to cut a square. So still just picking how I want it to look. I tried to stay, real similar to the inspiration piece, and I am going to be doing some inking also. You can see my ink up there, and it is Raspberry Fizz from Paper Tray Ink. And this one is actually a hybrid ink. I'm not sure what they're selling now. I always loved that company when I was making cards. I would buy inks, and then the paper matched exactly, and they had a really nice, super heavyweight cardstock, and I enjoyed their products very much, but I don't really make cards much anymore, so I haven't kept up with what they're doing lately. But I know they're still in business, so that it is something that you may still be able to find. So I kind of made some decisions. I think I still fuss around with it a little bit more, mixing things around, but I'm getting closer. And I've seen other people do this. I don't do this often. Where they glue the pieces together so you can move it around all in one piece. So I decided to do that. That is what Cassandra did, because I watched her video, and I thought, well, I'm going to give that a try with all these squares, since I kind of wanted it. I guess it's almost a wreath of squares here. So still, yeah, see, I'm still trying to get them exactly how I want them. And some of these get covered up so much you can't even tell anymore what it is, but it was fun. And there's always going to be some that, you know, when you put your pictures on and everything, it's embellishing. Things get covered up, but I like how it looks. So I've got that decided, and I'm just going to use a blending brush and this ink. Now, I hadn't ever really tried to use a hybrid ink like this for blending, but it works really well. The ink pad started kind of falling apart towards the end. Um, just I've had this thing so long, but it was still, you know, nice and juicy, and I was able to, get plenty of ink on my paper, so I was really happy with that. So I kind of go around and I move it over so I can see how much I need, and it's working out really well doing it that way because I can kind of, then you don't have to mark it and all of that. You can just kind of move it back and forth, and um, it worked out really, really well having it glued together in this manner. So that's what I'm doing. I did speed this up quite a bit. So much fun. I like watching it back. I didn't take much of the inking out. Probably I should have, but maybe you're also as mesmerized as watching my hand go super fast. I like watching other people do their inking too. Here, how I was dabbing, I guess, on the ink pad, got it into a splotch of more ink on my blending brush, but it blended out real nicely. That side is, maybe a little bit darker, which worked out fine because there's a couple of black squares over there. And it did blend out pretty nice. And then I go around again and kind of add a little more here and there anyway. So it all worked out really good. That matched like so perfectly with Addie's little costume. So that was the whole point of adding in the pink. This pink is not a part of the collection at all, but it matched her outfit. And being able to add the ink around, peeking through back there, and then now I'm also going to go over the little pieces, or all my little squares, and add this in, and it blends it all together. It makes it all cohesive, and it totally makes it work with this collection, even though it didn't have any of the pink that she had in her costume in it. It still works because all of those colors are represented, as well as the pink from her costume, being a main focus here. So I love how that worked out. I loved the inspiration piece with the rainbow effect, and I do love to do a rainbow also, but this was how I was going to make this work for her costume. And since I don't pull out these Halloween, I was trying to use some of the ink out of my blending brush too because I knew I was going to wash it out since I don't use that ink pad very often. And I wanted to be able to use the blending brush with my Distress Oxides. Again, I just wanted to make sure I got this ink, pretty much cleaned out. I didn't know if it would transfer to my oxides or not, so I did clean that out pretty well before I put it back away. I'm adding some splatters also, and then I'm going to change how I decide I wanted my pictures. But because of the wreath design, it worked out fine this way too. Just couldn't get them how I really wanted them. And the middle picture there, the main picture is the 4x6 that I printed of just the two of them. She's not really smiling super big in that picture, but you can see her costume well, and I thought it was cute. And she's cute whether she's smiling or not, right? So I liked it. The picture of Addie with her mom and dad is, it was dark, and both of their faces are cut in half, just because that's how the selfie was, but she's still in there really well. So, and smiling so cute. So I wanted to make sure I got that. And then the other two pictures that I used are small because they were from Trunk or Treat. It was really hard to get a good picture that they're kind of grainy because it was so dark. But they're of a trunk that was a Monsters Inc. trunk. And one of them has we have a code 2319, which Hudson says all the time. And so Mariah had to get a picture of that. It's super, super cute. And then the other one had the door in the background and things. And it was just kind of fun that they had a trunk that was also the same as our costume. So that was fun. So I chose a few little monsters to add in. There were lots of them to choose from. I really like that purple one up there, but if you can tell on the black piece of paper or the black square that I have, that exact same monster was on that. So I really didn't want to use the same one twice. I don't know why. It probably wouldn't have mattered, but there were so many to choose from. I made a couple of other ones work. And the little one at the top is holding a balloon that says Booyah, and I thought that was cute because she is Boo. And the banner piece there says the cutest monsters on the block. So I thought that was definitely appropriate. I liked the little monster that was, what do they call those? The little pieces that are the dimensional stickers. I forgot what those are called. They're always so cute. Anyway, the dimensional stickers. They have a name for it. Bella Pop, I think. Is that right? Anyway, I used the black sticker letters to spell out the word boo, and then my journaling will go directly under that. I think I even actually have a picture with my journaling on it, so I don't always do that, but it's just handwritten journaling anyway about what they were doing. So I wanted Boo on there since she is Boo. And then I'm sure I'll put Sully on the page that I do for Hudson's, and his will be, more focused on making sure his pictures pop. I wanted to use some of the little hearts, and I did end up getting, several of those on there. So I've got those. You didn't see me place them all. I went ahead and glued everything down, and I'm going to add some black splatters everywhere because, gotta have some black splatters. Sometimes I don't love this black splatter on printed paper as well as I do like on, like plain white, smooth cardstock. It seems like it just it'll bleed out a little bit. And I don't like the splatters quite as much. But I did go ahead and use it anyway because I wanted some black splatters. I could have used some acrylic paint because I have some in black and water it down. But I was just lazy. This is always on my desk, so I just went ahead with it and used it, and they're fine. It's kind of a messy type mixed media layout, so it worked out okay. And I'm adding in some black sequins. These are from Spiegel Mom Scraps, and it was from a Valentine mix. I believe it was Hard Ice. I'm not positive, and I don't have it in front of me, but I'm sure it's not available anymore. It's not a super new one or anything. I've had it for quite a while. And the black little bit of sparkle I thought was the perfect finishing touch here. So I'm going to get all of these where I want them, and I will journal off screen, I believe. But then in the final picture, it was raining, and I knew I had to get this finished. But I took my pictures just with my lights, and so I had just a piece of white behind me, and you can see that I've just done that with the white poster board behind me, and the pictures aren't the best, but I hope you can see what I did there. See, I did actually have journaling. I know people probably think I don't journal on any of these pages, and some of them I don't. I try and make my girls journal on some of them as well, but I thank you very much for being with me today, and I appreciate you watching. If you would subscribe, that would be wonderful. I would super appreciate it. And definitely check out that description box for everyone who's playing along. We'll see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.